Hello guys, welcome to Charities Baba USA, your number one channel. It's another night. I can't say it's a day, it's another night. It is 8 p.m. at night. See how clear that is, but it's 8:20. It's gonna be dark here at night, so I hope that I am able to do this video within the shortest time possible. So this is a video of looking back. The 20th is gonna be 11 years in the US. Can you imagine? 11 good years we have lived in this country since we came in, and that's what I want to talk about. Have we failed? What have we done? How have we been able to live the dream? That's what I want to talk about today. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. For the new subscribers, I welcome you to this channel. I always talk about different things that affect our lives. So please share my videos with your friends. Continue subscribing. I aim to 20,000 subscribers. That is what I'm looking at right now. We are tiny close to 17,000. And I know that you guys are going to help me to get there. So share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click the notification button so that when I upload a new video, you can get notified that I have uploaded one. So this is what I want to talk about. I'm going to turn the camera. I like to turn the camera so that you can see where I'm going. So 11 years tomorrow. Let me call it today because I'm going to post this video on the 20th. So with a green card, you know, some people here who are born here, they ask me, what is that? What is a green card? So a green card is a lottery that you win. You win, and that gives you the chance to come and live in the US as a permanent resident for 5 years. And then after 5 years, you qualify to become a US citizen. You apply, you do a test, and you become a US citizen. So I want to look and see how we came and where we are right now. So when we left Kenya, the day that we left Kenya, we left with only $1,000 in our pocket. That's all that we had. And it was a long journey, and we came all the way, and our port of entry was in Chicago. I think we were admitted around 10 a.m. in the morning because we had to wait for a plane at night, and we had to spend the night there. And then we came in and we found our host. I always thank the guy who hosted us. He was just a single person, and he was able to take a family of 4, and he stayed with us for less than 2 or 3 months. I do remember very well, because we came in April 20th, and we were already in our apartment by July. So that I remember very well. So we started in a single apartment with nothing. We did have a little dining table that had 3 chairs, and that's where me and we had 2 kids at that point would sit, and my husband would sit at the stairs because we didn't have enough for the dining table. So we started very humble beginnings. We had a couch that was a 2-seater. That's all that we had. At the $1,000 that we had, we bought beddings because we felt like beddings were very, very, very important to us. Because for me, I am very, very, very sensitive, and I have a problem with sleeping in a bed that has been slept on by someone else. I don't know, you call it whatever, but even in a hotel, I struggle, guys. I really do struggle. I have to carry an extra blanket and put it on top of that one, so that, and cover myself with another one, and then just sleep. But I do have a problem. So the first thing that we bought was beddings. We had to buy new ones because that's, you know, like my husband understands, you know, when you understand some of your family members. And my middle daughter who takes that she's very, very, very sensitive to stuff, especially stuff that has been, you know, if you lay on something, or, you know, she just doesn't like that. So we stayed in our apartment. We bought the first, at that time I was doing hair because I was hairdresser back in Kenya. I had gotten like a few clients that was doing their hair, which was good. And my husband got a job, a direct support job in a certain company, which he ended up working for 5 years. And then in July, but believe you me, the next year in September, we had already bought a house. Our first home, the one that we live in right now, we bought it with less than 1.5 years in the US. That was how fast God blessed us. Because when we lived in the apartment, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and we were blessed with another child, and we felt that that house was so small. So we knew that we needed more space. And then we looked at more apartments, 3-bedroom apartments and all that. We looked at the rent, and then we were like, no, there is no way that we are going to pay maybe like $1,200 or $1,000 for rent. And that is the same money that goes to a mortgage. Someone might argue differently, because when you have a mortgage, you have your own house. When it comes to maintenance, you have to do it by yourself. But I still prefer having a mortgage instead of renting someone's house or apartment and giving them the money and you know, staying there for so many years, and I will come out with nothing. So we opted to rather live to own, pay to own, instead of pay not to own. So we got our first home. God blessed us. God had blessed us with a baby girl. So we were, you know, our family was getting bigger at that point. And then we went to our new home. We stayed there for a little bit. And then God blessed us with another child. And then that was it. We closed that chapter. We were like, that's enough. We don't want to have, it's enough for us. So then COVID hit. You know, COVID affected everyone. So when COVID hit, at that point, my husband had started doing business, because he had gone to do truck driving. Truck driving wasn't doing well. It does. If you're a truck driver and you have a family, sometimes it's very hard for you to be able to balance family life and truck driving life, because truck driving life demands a lot of your time. So at one point we were like, truck driving is not for him. So he came back home, and he took a job back the place that he was working. He worked there a little bit, and then we sat down. We were like, you know, my husband was always a businessman, and he was only working in that job just to provide for the family, but his heart was not there. So we started to dive into other things, and that's when he started doing business. So we got a small truck, and he started doing moving. He started collecting even garbage. He started, you know, doing all sorts of things. And he's very handy. He does a lot of handy work, and it's through his cleaning of the, you know, we know there are some houses when people move out, they need to be cleaned so that they can be renovated. That's what he was doing. That's how we came across our second home. So he was cleaning this house, and then, you know, when we came in, we were working very hard. But in the first years, I wasn't working. But then I also started working, especially when we were buying our first home, because they needed us to have 2 incomes. So we did have, we did started saving. Oh, we started saving our money. Oh my gosh. Even the money that we got for at the end of the taxes, that time it was good. We weren't working. It's not like this time that I am an RN that my taxes are just horrible. Sometimes I have to pay, which is okay, because I'm not going to stop working because the government wants me to pay back. That's fine. I really don't mind. But at that point, we were getting a chunk from the taxes, because we had low income. We had 4 children and all that. So all that money we started saving. So by the time we bought our second home, we were able to buy that home cash, with no loan, with no nothing. It wasn't a very, it wasn't exotic or anything. We had to do a lot of work on it. We had to do a lot of renovation. And I thank God that my husband was the one who did the renovation, because he was a plumber when we were there, and he was also doing a construction. So he has, I would say that he has so many things that he can do. He's very handy. So we were able to renovate that home, and that we rented that home. So remember, that home did not have any debt. It was, we had a title and everything. And we felt like it was good for us to venture. When we bought that home and we had finished it and we had rented it out, we were like, this can be a base for us to start investing in real estate. So that first home, when we had renovated it and done everything, of course you do valuation. You can call for someone to just do an appraisal of your house and see how much it can cost. And believe you me, the price that we had bought that house at that time, and when we had renovated it and everything doubled, it doubled. And actually in that lane where we bought that house, it raised the standard, because we renovated our house like really good, like a modern house. So when we appraised the house, it was a double standard, and that was what gave us that home. With that home, because we had everything, we were like, if we use that home as collateral, we can get another home which was way more better and in a better neighborhood than the other home. So we got that one. We didn't need to do a lot of work on that home, so we just renovated a little bit, and then it was good to go. And we even that one, we gave it out to rent it out. So we were getting roots and bases, So that was after we have had our kids, and I was still going to school. By that time I was an LPN, and I stayed as an LPN for a good 5 years and something, because we really needed to work hard, and my husband really needed to concentrate so much on his business. Remember, COVID had hit and it had taken us way back, so we had to work very hard when the COVID problem was resolved, so that we could be able to nurture this dream that we had. So we got that home, we rented it out, and then now we felt like we were doing okay. So after that, we were like, we are not gonna stop. So he's still continuing with his work and doing all that. We got another home that's a little bit far away. It's a good home, but the thing is that it's a distance. But we bought it, and we're still renovating that one. We are not yet done because of the distance, but we are gonna get done soon. But that one, we plan to sell it and just get rid of it and buy another home that's nearer where we are, because we feel like driving for more than 45 minutes is a little bit far, especially to maintain, and we have these others that we are working on. So we stayed, and then you still as you work, you get more. As you stay here, you get more wiser. You learn things. We found out that you can also buy houses by bidding. You don't. Sometimes you really don't need to go to the real estate people and have them sell your house or anything. You can still go online, register yourself, and you do bidding. You bid. They have a house that they're selling at a certain price. And you do your bidding. People put the price, and then you bid and bid until you win a bid. If you win a bid at the price that you're the highest bidder, then you get the house. And that is how we got our fifth home. By bidding, we bid until we got to we won that bid and we got another home. So looking back 11 years back, 5 homes, I think we have done really good. We thank God that we have done really good. So I'm just encouraging you guys. I'm not here to boast off or anything, but I'm just trying to tell you that you can do good when you come and you're focused. The other thing that I look back and see that we have done well is that when we came in, I was a hairdresser. And then the thing about me and Francis is that we do not choose. Like, we can do any work as long as it is legal. We can do any work as long as it's it's gonna bring income and it's gonna make us better. And that is even how we used to be in Nairobi. We started by a small business, just a small hairdressing college, and by the time we were leaving, it was a big college. We had so many students and we were doing very well because we worked together. And that's one thing that I want to tell you guys. When you come to live here in the US, you must work together. You must be able to be very, very open to one another. You must be very, very, very able to trust one another, especially with finances, because finances can be the devil. But if you are honest to one another and you are able to combine your resources, you can go far. without hiding, you know. And both of you have to be in a position to work hard. You cannot say that it is for one person to work and the other one is not working. No, you have to be able, even when one person's work is not going well, the other one has to be able to chip in and support that side so that it doesn't fall off. And that's what we have been doing. So when in my I felt like hairdressing wasn't like I could do something different. So I did go to apply to become a CNA, and at that point that I was applying, we didn't have like that money that was needed. At that time they were charging $550 for the CNA class, but we didn't have that money. So the person that I approached was a Kenyan, and that person had an institution whereby they were doing they were training people for CNA. So I just went, like you know, when you want something you have to really want it. So I went, very new, introduced myself, and then when I introduced myself, I was like, do you offer training? And then when you train someone, when they are hired, then they can pay you. You know, some people are honest and some people are not very honest. But for me, I count myself as very honest. And you know, if I owe something, even if it's 5 shillings, I will pay to the end. But I think from experience, some people had, that's what I heard, that some people had gone and he had helped him and they had not paid him or whatever. So he refused. But even with his refusal, he was like, if you go to a certain organization, they can send you here and pay for you. I was like, okay, all right. I was disappointed, but then I was like, I'm gonna go and pursue that other area. So I did go and pursue, but you had to go and do some classes. I had to do English, I had to do math, and I had to do reading, and I had to pass with a certain grade for them to be able to pay for me for the CNA. So I started doing the classes. It is a state funded. It was a state funded thing. So I started doing the classes. I would go there. I do remember we didn't have internet, so I would be dropped off by a friend, and I would go and I would study, and sometimes I would print off some papers and I would go and just look at them, and then when it was the exam time, I went and did my test and I passed. So they were able to pay for me my CNA, my Medit, and my home health. So they paid for me 3 things at the same time, and by the time I was done, I got a job. You know, you just get done and you get a job. That's the good thing about US, is that you get done and you get a job. So I started working. I didn't work so much as a CNA. I worked as a Medit. That's like, you know, just someone who helps to pass medications. That's what I did most of the time. But then I wasn't, you know, there was this thing in me that was like, I cannot settle, because that's my spirit. That's the spirit that we have. You know, like we just don't settle. You know, like even where we are right now, we're still looking for more. We want to gain more. So I applied for school, and I did go to do the prereqs. By that time, when I was doing my prereqs, we had Olivia was the baby. Our 9-year-old was the baby. We hadn't gotten Gigi yet. So Olivia was the baby, and I do remember most of the classes I had to do them online, because I had this baby that I couldn't leave behind. I wanted to go to school. My husband was working very hard. He was working so many hours. He was working at night. He was working during the day. So it was hard to find him at home. So I did do most of my classes online. And true to be, I passed. But there was a challenge. I had to do a test called a TIS test for me to be able to get into nursing school. That was a challenge, guys. And I wasn't failing science, and I wasn't failing math. I was failing reading, and I was failing English, because the words. That's why when you come and live here, there are some things, or there are some words that they use that we do not use. You know, we use a different word for that word. So at that point, I did not understand. So believe you me, I did my TIS test twice. And the first time I failed, I felt so bad. I don't like failing. Like I am so bad at failing that if I fail, I feel so bad that I don't even know what to do. So I went for the second time and I did pass, and I got accepted to school. I went to a community college, worked very hard, and I passed my LPN. Did my NCLEX and I became an LPN. I was so happy. Oh my gosh, the joy that I had when I passed my LPN was, I cannot even tell you. It was tremendous. So I did my LPN, and then I started working. I got a job. Actually, I got a job where I used to work as a med aid. I got a job there, and I started working there. And I worked and worked and worked and worked, and even when COVID hit, because I had gotten my youngest when I had my little baby. Now let me see. No, I got my youngest after I got my LPN. Yeah, but when COVID was here, I was an LPN, because I do remember so many people were dying, and I didn't stop working. I still continued working. I tell you guys, I love this area with the lake, and I've told you about this, but I really love this area. So we still worked very hard, but I felt I did not want to settle. I stayed as an LPN for 5 years. I was still looking for a school that could accept me to become an RN, because that was my dream. And I had been challenged by so many people. They were like, oh, there is no way that you can become an RN. You have kids, you have a family. It doesn't work like that. It is so hard. So many people, I only had one person who would encourage me. My husband was my number one encourager. He was like, I know you can do it. And also I have my best friend, her name is Edith. She would be like, I know you can do it. You're smart. You can do it. And so I did go to, I did apply, and the first time I wasn't accepted. But I wasn't accepted because I hadn't passed. It's because the nursing program is very competitive. And there were so many people who had applied for that program at that time. So they sent me a letter. They were like, you were not accepted because we did not pass. It's because we have so many students. And when they have so many students, they have a higher cutoff. So she asked if I could be put on the waiting list. I was like, yes, put me on the waiting list. So I was put on the waiting list, and then I went to Butler. And then it was only going to be 2 semesters and I could be done. But I'm telling you, that wasn't easy. It was so hard, guys, for me to be in that program. Remember that at that time we have 4 kids. I even stopped working. My husband took over. That's why I'm telling you, we balance each other. We do balance each other. When one is not providing for the family, the other one steps up, and they do everything that is needed to be done. So we did. Finally, I graduated and I became an RN. I'm telling you, the joy that I had at that moment, goodness gracious. I do remember my graduation day when we were doing pictures. I even had to bless my children, took my cape off and put it on top of every child of mine's head, because I knew that if I had done it, my children would do it, and I know that, I just not gonna come to pass. And it true to be, like a few years later, it was not even a long time, my son graduated as a Marine. He went all the way to San Diego to go for his graduation. So what am I saying? I'm saying that I'm here to encourage you that when you come to live in the US, you have to be able to work hard. You have to be able to put God first. You have to be able even to go beyond. And sometimes you have to be tough. Because when we came in, we were very, 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 very generous. Money, especially to family and everything. But then when we followed up to see what they had done with the money, we would find out that they had done nothing. You work so hard and you send your money to people. You're like, you can keep a business, or you can do this and this and this. And then when you follow up, you find out that they have done nothing. So you feel so bad, and then you're like, what's the point? So at one point, we want to do it. We're going to focus on building ourselves and building our family, and that's what we did. So this is for the person who is coming into the US, is that you can make it. When they say the land of the free, and the land of milk and honey, The milk and honey doesn't come in very easily. You're gonna have to work very hard. Very, very, very hard. And if you work very hard, you're gonna see fruits. You know, sometimes we sit down, me and Francis, and we're gonna do a joint video about 11 years later. Is that what I look at and what I see resilience. I see people who are willing, as we have never sat down and waited for Kenyans to come and advise us what to do. Actually, we don't have so many people who like ask. If we need something and we Google it and we go to the office and we ask. Or we will go and inquire. Because here everything is enclosed and you cannot rely on people to tell you or to advise you on what to do. You're going to have to go and find it yourself, you know. I do remember when we were buying our first home. When we were buying our first home, there was a comment that was made because, you know, my husband was working as a direct support. And the job that he was working, if you have followed his story, is that he was only paid $8. And there was a comment that was made that they have never had someone who's earning $8 buying a house. But we were determined, guys. We were determined because it doesn't matter even if you're making $8. You can be making $8, but you're working so many hours and you're making more. And that is what you should do, especially when you come in. You have to work more so that you can gain more. But you have to, as time goes by, now like right now, if I have to work more, because sometimes I work more, like I was telling you that I'm working very many days for a few times, it's because we have a target, we have a goal. There's something that we really want to do. And for it to be done, we're going to have to work hard, get the money, and then when it's done, then we can rest. So that's what we do. And that's what you should be doing when you come to live here in the US, because time is not going to wait for you. We have grown 4 children. We have our assets that we have gained. Our son is in the Marines. He has a job. He's going to school. Our daughter is just graduating from 8th grade. Like, we have so much to thank God for, you know. Our little ones, my youngest is graduating to go to kindergarten. My other one is going to go to 4th grade. So we have evolved, guys. We have evolved, and God has been faithful to us. So this is to encourage you that when you come to a new country like US, or when you immigrate, when you are immigrant, you can achieve anything. You can even be even, you know, you can achieve anything and even be ahead of those people who were born here. It's very, very, very possible. But you got to be able to work hard. You got to be able to, you know, work hard, and you got to be able to even sometimes say no to having fun. It's okay to have fun and everything, but sometimes you are like, let me go to work, let me do this, so that at the end of the day you are able to achieve, you know, because you need to achieve more. You want to look back, and when you are 60 years old, you're not running around like a, you know, like a chicken, you know, trying to make the ends meet. No, it's that you are set, that there's something that you can go for, you know. If anything happened, if you are not able to work, you got a few houses that you can count on, that you're gonna get rent from, you know. So this is to encourage you. This is not to show off. It's to encourage you guys, especially those who have come from Africa. Guys, you gotta wake up. You gotta be a good example to people, you know. You gotta be what can I say? I don't even know what I can say, because I'm sitting down, you know. I was sitting down in the morning looking at I was working in my computer. I try to work, most of my work I do in my computer on Monday morning. So I was sitting there, and then I was like, I can't believe it's been 11 years since we have been here. So I wanted, you know, just to share with you that it can be done, but you gotta be very, very, very resilient. This is a country where you can either succeed or you can fail. It goes two-way, guys. So this is just to encourage you, you know. You win that green card, let it be a good example. Let everybody look at you and say, I want to be like that couple, I want to be like that family, because what they have done, even as we can do. Just like I said, you know, I went to become a CNA in one hospital, and that's where I work right now. And when I went to work there were so many people from our community, and those people were not helpful at all. They were so hateful. They wouldn't even help you on the floor. Like, they would never help you. You know, you were there, you're struggling, but they would not. Because they felt like they were special, like they were, you know, that you were nothing. There were some people who like would just out of nowhere would just start like giving you a lecture because you are a CNA, or they were like, what have you been doing all those years? You've been here doing nothing, and why are you a CNA? You know, like, I don't know what I can say, but I wouldn't I don't like putting people down because I don't like to be put down, but I always felt like that wasn't a good approach. So what am I saying? This video is to encourage you, and is to tell you that coming to America, you can succeed. There's so many things that you can do, but you gotta be willing, guys. You have to be willing to work hard. You have to be willing to put your trust in whatever power that, you know, you have to trust in God. Or if you're a Muslim, trust in your Allah or whatever. You know, we pray different people, we have different high power. That high power that you believe in, keep it fast and let it guide you, you know, and you will have a good story to tell. You'll have a testimony to tell. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I know this video is long, kindly consider subscribing. Thank you so much for always supporting. I didn't even mention my YouTube channel, guys. Yeah, I also have this YouTube channel that has grown. My husband also has his YouTube channel, and we are gonna go far. This is not the end. We want to see what's gonna happen 20 years later. Where are we gonna be? So thank you for always supporting me and supporting my work. I wish you all the best. God bless you.